Hi, my name is Pete, and this is an open letter to Senator Mike Bennet from Colorado. At this point, I support you in your campaign for President of the United States. You came to my attention because of a rant on the Senate floor, which Scott Galloway of NYU tweeted and which I saw. During the first debate, I thought you gave the very best answer of all the questions asked and answered. Specifically, when asked about income inequality, you said it all, or most recently, stems back to President Obama agreeing to extend the Bush tax cuts in 2010. I couldn't agree more. I also agree with your stance on Medicare for all. It's a lovely concept, but at $30 trillion, it's not going to happen, even if the people who propose it are lucky enough to be elected President of the United States. So, I'm a supporter. I would like to volunteer for your campaign. I made a small donation some time ago in order to let you raise enough money from enough states to be included in the third Democratic debate, which didn't happen. No matter, I think what counts is the Iowa caucuses, and to a lesser extent the New Hampshire primary. I say New Hampshire is lesser because Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are from neighboring states, and they'll be extremely difficult to defeat on their home ground. But in Iowa, I think you have a real chance. And the history of the Iowa caucuses is that whoever wins the Democratic caucuses, or at least ties for first, ends up being the final Democratic nominee. So the Democrats in Iowa are mainstream, and if they approve you, then things are looking good. So what I'd like to do is come to Iowa and volunteer to work on your campaign. I don't care if it's answering phones, stuffing envelopes, whatever I'm told to do. I've written an email to your campaign offices offering my services and have had no response. When I was in Colorado visiting my daughter in the Rockies near Vail, I drove to Denver to go to your Senate office to volunteer. I got into your office building, but wasn't able to see anyone because of your office's concerns about the Hatch Act. I agree with being concerned about the Hatch Act, but no one could give me an address for Bennet for America in Denver where I could go by and volunteer my services. So what I'm planning to do is simply get in my car and drive to Iowa and present myself to a field office and offer to do whatever they want. The last time I volunteered like this was in 1968, 1969, when I dropped out of college and entered VISTA to be a VISTA volunteer in Atlanta, Georgia. I arrived a few months after Dr. King was shot, and I spent a year in Atlanta, 1968-69, being a VISTA volunteer. Although I've been on charitable organization boards and whatnot since then, I haven't really volunteered like this in the 50 years since. I don't think America is in as bad a shape in 2019 as it was in 1968, but I think it's in the worst shape it's been since 1968. And if Donald Trump is reelected as president, then America might be in as bad a shape or worse in 2020 and years past as it was in 1968. So rather than go to Hawaii for the 14th winter in a row, or take a cruise, which is always fun, I'm willing to come to Iowa and volunteer for your campaign. I hope someone sees this video. I hope you can put me to use, and I'll do what I can to help. Thank you.